In this lesson, we're going to modify the programs from the previous lesson and load an image file from a server on the Internet. The first thing to do is modify the image loader class so it can reach out over the Internet and load a graphics file from a server into local memory in the form of an image object. Well, Java has just the thing to do that. All that's necessary is to add a new method to the class. This means that this class can now be used not only to load images from the local disk, but also from the Internet. This new method is named loadImageFromInternet, and it requires a URL string, just like the one you type at the top of your web browser. The URL must be the full path and include the name of the graphics file somewhere on the Internet. A new URL object is created based on the character string passed to the method. The new command is inside the try block because the URL string could be badly formed, and if so, the constructor of the URL class will throw an exception. If the URL string is badly formed, the program dumps the information and exits. Now, the URL may not be correct. That is, the location may not actually exist on the Internet, but that won't cause any problems here. The only error that comes about here is if the string is not in the correct format of a URL. Just as was done when we were reading from the disk, we get an address of the default toolkit and call the getImage method. But notice the argument being passed to getImage. This time it is a URL object instead of a string of characters. The getImage method is overloaded in the URL class. That is, there are two versions of the method defined in the class. One of them takes the name of the file and the other one takes a URL object. Just like when we were loading the image from a file, we have to call the waitForImage method to pause long enough for the image to fully load into memory. In this case, with the image coming from the Internet, the wait is more important and it will certainly take longer. It could take significantly longer depending on the speed of the Internet connection. At any rate, once the image is loaded, the method returns to its call. Now it's a matter of writing a program to load a remote image and display it. It's fundamentally the same as the program that loads and displays a graphics file from a local disk. I simplified things a bit in this version by hard-coding the URL string to the name of a graphics file that I happen to know exists on the Internet. This constructor creates an image loader object and calls the loadImageFromInternet method to load a graphics file from the Internet. The rest of the code is the same as in the previous example. The height and width of the loaded image are used to size the window. Then the paint method calls drawImage to display the image in the canvas window. Compiling and running the program looks like this. And there's the old man Inva, craters and all. In the next lesson, we're going to look into modifying a loaded image by changing its size.